What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video, and I have been deliberating whether to do this video or not, and then I thought, no, I really need to do this video. As you can see from the thumbnail, I believe this is one of the most egregious smartphone scams in history. And to make it worse, your favourite YouTubers are still covering this device and shining a positive light on it. Let's go. So, if you're new to the channel, I am the Average Dad and I review basically every flagship phone from the global or Chinese market. If you haven't already, watch the catalogue, smash subscribe, and you're in for a bit of a treat on this one. Because I tell it to you straight, 100% of the time. In the past, I have done one other scam video, and that was on the OnePlus Open Apex edition. Essentially, OnePlus released a new phone a full year later, calling it the Apex edition, but it was just their sister company's Oppo Find N3 in the same red colour with the same parts and components, but a year old, that they rebranded with a OnePlus logo and sold for £1,600. Now that in itself was, in my opinion, a scam. But what Samsung are doing is way beyond the pale. So if you're a Samsung knight with your mind so narrow that you couldn't fit a ball hair through that gap, you may as well switch off now. And if you are one of those nutsack riding YouTube reviewer fans that can't take some criticism like Techspert fans, I clearly stated a simple fact in a video I posted last week that Chris told a lie due to his lack of research. He then corrected that lie. So for all those that say there's a beef or any pish childish stuff like that, no, I want the facts. I sell Chinese ROM phones and tell millions of people how to install Google, and that Google is actually available natively on these devices. So if a YouTube reviewer simply just lies and says that it's not, then I'm obviously going to back that up. It was nothing against Chris, you sensitive dummies. This video though isn't necessarily taking shots at YouTube reviewers such as Mr. Who's the Boss or MKBHD or others that have done a first impressions of the S25 Edge from Samsung and somehow weaseled their way into saying that there's a gap in the market for this phone. So for those that don't know, the Samsung S25 Edge is a £1,100 phone with a 3900 mAh battery and a dual camera system. Yes, you heard me correctly. For the first time in history, and you can fact check all you like, I am correct. For the first time in history, a dual camera phone is going to set you back 1,099 Great British pounds. And to make matters even worse, they are pretty terrible cameras at that. So what I've got in this video is just a few facts and comparisons between other global phones, including the Samsung S25 Ultra. But before we get to that, I just want to talk to you about the main selling points of the S25 Edge. Samsung believe, and they've got the YouTube reviewers singing off their hymn sheet for the money, the S25 Edge is filling a gap in the market for those that just want a thinner candy bar smartphone. Because they're willing to sacrifice the cameras and the battery and their budgets for a what looks to be £300 to £500 budget phone. And before you start commenting that I'm just hating on Samsung, I love the S25 Ultra. I love the Samsung SE special editions from South Korea that I was one of the only UK tech reviewers to actually use and review and make numerous videos on. So don't give me the shit that I'm just bashing Samsung. To add to that, I was actually invited to the Samsung S25 Edge launch event taking place in London on Tuesday. But lo and behold, I'll be in Dubai, I can't make it, so that's unfortunate for me, as I was desperate to take along a few other Android phones and show them exactly what a real phone for £1,100 or less really is. So no, this is not a Samsung bash. In 2025, a 6.7 inch 120Hz Super AMOLED display will not last you a full day with medium to heavy usage, powered by a 3900 mAh battery. So when Samsung state on their website, yeah, it's like all day battery, it's about 6 or 7 hours screen on time. Folks, yeah, that's the facts. You know how I feel about it. And then when we talk about the dual cameras, we have the, and you can watch this back. You can see other reviewers say this.
The S25 Ultra's 200 megapixel lens has been placed onto the S25 Edge.
No, it's not though, has it? Because yes, it's 200 megapixels, but the sensor size is smaller. And then there's the mid-range to budget ultra-wide. No, it's not the 50 megapixel found on the S25 Ultra. It's a 12 megapixel f2.2 aperture ultra-wide, found on such flagships from the year 2021. So I know I keep going off in tangents, but I'm just so fucking mad that this is getting coverage, and there aren't more videos like this, to be honest. How refreshing would it be if you got Aaron, Mr. Who's the Boss, coming out with a video like this? Absolutely bashing Samsung for the complete money grab they're trying to do, because they're completely taking advantage of Samsung's loyal fans. And Samsung Knights, I will never get on at you for your loyalty. Loyalty is important in life. I respect it. But even you have to agree that they've gone too far with this one. So again, the main and only key feature between the S25 Edge and the S25 Ultra, or the Oppo X8 Pro, or the Vivo X200 Ultra, the only feature that is better on the Edge is that it is 2.3 millimeters thinner. The Oppo X8 Pro global version, bought direct from Oppo Global, you don't even have to buy from me, is £200 cheaper, with 4 flagship cameras compared to the 2 mediocre cameras on the S25 Edge, a near 6,000 mAh battery compared to the 3,900 mAh of the Samsung S25 Edge. But it's 2.3 millimeters thicker, so screw it, there's no way we could possibly hold an 8 millimeter thick phone in our hands. We're just going to have to forgo and sacrifice every candy bar phone on the planet, because now the consumer needs a 6 millimeter thick phone. Bullshit. Utter nonsense. Whew. I think I need to calm down. I might have a heart attack here. But it's warranted. It's absolutely warranted. Let me be clear. If Samsung had said, look folks, we're bringing a mid-range phone to compete with the Google Pixel 9, the iPhone 16 standard, or whatever, then we could have almost accepted it, and they'd priced it at £600 or £700. But the fact that they're bringing out a phone that does not compete with the standard S25 in terms of specifications, yet we're paying S25 Ultra prices, because yes, right now, without any discount codes, Samsung UK have the S25 Ultra for £1,099. The same price as this new S25 Edge. And Aaron went on about how this is the phone for his mum and she doesn't care about cameras, she doesn't care about the S Pen, but she might care about battery. Well, Aaron, you don't have to use all the cameras, you don't have to use the S Pen, but you damn do need to use the battery, and it's way more convenient to pay the same price for a phone that has everything compared to a phone that is lacking a lot. So I'm just not on board. And here we go again. This is where you're going to think I'm bashing the YouTube reviewers. I'm not. They've got to make a living, as do I. I will just not lie or hold back on my true feelings to make that living. So my viewers are, you watching this, are fairly switched on tech savvy people with a brain in your skull. So I am desperate to know in the comments how you guys feel about this. Is this just a complete smash and grab from Samsung using super old parts, or are they filling a gap in the market that I never knew existed? But please, if you think they're filling a gap in the market, you have to also follow up with how a phone with these specs, these parts, can be £1,099. Because as I've said, I would be fine with a slim candy bar phone aimed at the budget to mid-range price. But this flagship price with budget specs, I don't know. I give up on humanity if Samsung sell more than like 50,000 of these things, which I know they're going to do, which is just absolutely wild. So there's my jumbled up, messy take on the S25 Edge. I got numerous comments, WhatsApps, Instagram messages asking me to make this video. And I was so close to posting straight after I seen Mr. Who's the Boss's video. But I just wanted to take a day to look at everything, compare lots of phones. And I had a whole presentation planned between the Poco M7 Pro for £200 and the Samsung S25 Edge for £1,100. And do you know the only thing you were really sacrificing with that device? One had the 8 Gen 3 chip from Snapdragon and one had the 8 Elite chip. Go ahead, do your own comparisons for shits and giggles. It will only make you more mad at Samsung. So, there we have it. I'll be back tomorrow with the unboxing of this bad boy. The X200 Ultra 1TB with the photo kit including Zeiss zoom lens. This thing looks and feels fantastic, but what's it actually like to use? And does it improve the zoom compared to the phone? Those questions answered tomorrow. Until next time.